Unit 6, page 49. Read. Exercise 1. Read and listen to the text.
Birth order and success. If asked, most parents would say that they love and treat all their children equally. However, according to several experts in psychology, a child's position in the birth order has an impact on his or her personality, behavior, learning, and ultimately the child's career path. Conventional wisdom says that there are natural differences in the way that birth order affects people. For example, parents often keep tabs on firstborn children, while children born later typically have fewer rules. Furthermore, many people believe that the youngest child seems to get away with murder because parents have experienced everything before. But is there truth to this theory that birth order can affect our personalities? Ben Datner, a psychologist based in New York, believes there is. He says, depending on birth order, there are special roles within families, leading to different adaptation patterns and different personalities. He believes that the stricter upbringing of firstborn children leads to them being more extroverted and confident. They also tend to be more responsible because their parents rely on them to help with the younger children. As a result, firstborn children usually have some power over younger siblings, who may even look up to them as substitute parents. Secondborn and middle children often feel overlooked by their parents, especially if another child is born before they are 2 years old. Secondborn children are not given as much responsibility as firstborn children. According to Datner, they are more accommodating and they are also receptive to new experiences. Many second-born children are quiet and they prefer to observe instead of participate in family dramas. The youngest child is usually the most creative. Datner believes this is a result of the more relaxed attitude their parents often have towards them. They are given freedom to experiment in play, and they often have fewer restrictions. However, youngest children tend to enjoy the attention they receive, and this can cause them to be manipulative to get what they want. Clearly, birth order can affect personality. But what about career advancement and success? Michael Groves, author of Why Firstborns Rule the World and Lastborns Want to Change It, strongly believes that birth order affects career choices and ultimately earning potential. To support his opinion, Groves cites several studies which have shown that firstborns and only children usually reach higher educational goals, obtain greater status, and have greater financial success. They tend to be ambitious and disciplined compared with their younger siblings. They are usually determined to succeed, yet fearful of losing position and rank. They are more likely to have careers that require higher education, like medicine or engineering. If they choose a business-related career, they are more likely to reach the senior management level. Second-born or middle children are good at negotiation, peacemaking and compromise, Groves says. They are easygoing and are usually closer to friends than to family. They tend to have excellent people skills, so they may enter fields such as law enforcement, counselling, or marketing. Youngest children love the limelight and are used to being in it. They are charming, creative, and have a good sense of humour. According to Groves, they often gravitate toward artistic careers. Because of this, they may earn less money than their older siblings. However, not all youngest children are interested in the arts. They're also successful in journalism, advertising, and professional sports. Although Groves and Datner are strong advocates of birth order differences, It is important to acknowledge that birth order is not the sole determiner of an individual's career or earning power. For example, Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft and one of the richest men in the world, is a middle child, thus showing that other factors can override birth order in determining one's career and financial success.
Unit 6, page 51. Explore. Exercise 1. Read and listen to the dialogue.
What did you think about the career and personality test we took last week?
It was interesting, but I haven't spoken to the career guidance counsellor yet.
I haven't either. But I need to speak to her because I thought my results were confusing.
Did you? Mine seemed to fit my personality perfectly.
Really? Mine didn't. Perhaps I'm not reading them correctly.
The explanations are on the yellow paper, but you'll need some time to read through them.
Yellow paper? I didn't receive a yellow paper.
That's strange. I did.
Should I get one at the career guidance office before I meet with the guidance counsellor?
I would. You won't be prepared without it.
You're right. I won't.
I think the office is open late today.
Yes, it is. Thanks. I'd better go now.
Unit 6, page 52. Listen. Exercises 1 and 2. Listen to the interview.
There are many theories about personality. For example, the effect of birth order on personality. But today's guest is going to inform us about an interesting personality theory that may be new to many of our listeners. Blood type personality theory. Welcome, sociologist Dr. Sarah Miller.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
Tell us, Dr. Miller, where is blood type theory popular?
Oh, it's extremely popular in Asia, in Japan in particular. People there believe that there is a strong connection between blood type and personality. In fact, some companies even use blood type to profile their potential employees. They prefer to know a job candidate's blood type so they can plan how to train them or integrate them into the team.
Really? Well, let's choose a blood type. How about type O? What does type O mean?
People with the blood type O are supposedly outgoing and dramatic. They're very industrious. In other words, they work incredibly hard and will do anything for success in their jobs.
And what about somebody who is quite shy, down to earth, and likes to have a balance between work and their personal life? I'm thinking of my husband.
Well, that describes people with blood type A.
And that's what he is. But what about the other blood types? What are their characteristics?
OK, according to the theory, blood type B people are charismatic and adventurous. They're also creative.
I don't mean to question your theory, but I'm type B, and that doesn't sound like me. I would accept that I'm creative, but I'm not particularly charismatic or adventurous. I've got a predictable routine, and my idea of adventure is trying out a new restaurant.
Well, you work in radio, so you must be more charismatic than you think. People enjoy listening to you. And if you're willing to try new things, then you are adventurous. It's important not to confuse adventure with danger.
Well, I never thought of it like that. What about the AB blood type?
AB is the rarest type, and according to the theory, these people have characteristics of A and B.
So they are supposedly a combination?
Yes, they're considered charismatic and confident, but they're also thought to be troubled. They're not happy-go-lucky people. The theory is that they're in conflict because they've got characteristics of two different types. Actually, the villains in many Japanese stories are blood type AB. They have a dual nature, something like good and evil in one.
Fascinating. How can we learn more about this personality theory?
There are many books available on the subject.
OK. We'll post some recommendations on the show's website. Thank you, Dr. Miller.
It's my pleasure.
Unit 6, page 55. Language skills. Exercise 1. Listen and check.
Have you met the new student in our chemistry class?
You mean the guy that always wears a pair of silly sunglasses on top of his head?
That's the one. His name's Juan. I just think he seems so pretentious.
Yes, I do too. But I also think that maybe deep down he's very nervous and shy.
I'm not sure. The other day I smiled and tried to speak to him, but he was very standoffish and he didn't even say hello.
Well, maybe he can't speak English very well.
Actually, he can. I heard him talking to Brendan the other day.
Brendan? What do they have in common? They must be like chalk and cheese.
I know. Brendan is much more down-to-earth than Juan is, and Brendan seems much more reliable and trustworthy than he does.
True. But anyway, we should do something to get to know Juan a bit better. How about inviting him for coffee tomorrow? I haven't got any classes in the afternoon.
No, I haven't either. Let's speak to Juan tomorrow morning.
Everyday English 6. Teacher's Book. Page 112. Reaching an agreement. Exercise 1. Read and listen to the dialogue.
Hi, Tony. We need to choose someone to represent the school at the International Students' Conference next month. Who do you think we should vote for?
Well, I think it has to be someone who's confident and sociable.
I agree. So what do you think about Kelly Smith?
You've got to be joking. She's really clever, but she's not very good at standing up in front of lots of people. I was thinking of someone more like Robert Powell. He's always the life and soul of the party.
That's true. But I'm not convinced. I mean, he's also a bit of a show-off. And perhaps not the best person to represent the school.
Yeah, I see what you mean. What about Bill Simons? He's fun and he's got a good head on his shoulders.
I'm afraid we'll have to agree to disagree on that one. I just don't think he's mature enough. Let's think of someone else. Someone more diplomatic. What do you think about Jennifer Williams?
Yeah, she's a possibility. She's certainly very diplomatic.
Yeah, and in my opinion, she's confident enough to deliver a good presentation too.
OK, I'll go along with that. Let's vote for Jennifer.
Everyday English 6. Teacher's Book. Page 112. Reaching an agreement. Exercise 2. Listen and repeat. Reaching an agreement. Disagreeing.
You've got to be joking.
Sorry, but I really can't agree with you on that.
I'm afraid we will have to agree to disagree on that one.
Partial agreement.
I see your point, but I don't entirely agree.
That's true, but I'm not convinced.
That's a possibility.
Agreeing.
I completely agree with you on that.
Yes, I see what you mean.
OK, I'd go along with that.
Everyday English 6. Teacher's Book. Page 112. Reaching an agreement. Exercises 3 and 4. Listen to the dialogues. Dialogue 1.
Have you been following the tennis?
Yes, it's very exciting, but I don't think Rafa Nadal is going to win this time.
Oh, you must be kidding. He's won everything so far this year.
That's true, but I'm not convinced. He didn't play well yesterday, even though he beat his opponent, and they say he's having problems with his knee again.
Yes, I see what you mean. But he did actually win the match. He'll definitely get to the final.
I completely agree with you on that. But will he win it?
Dialogue 2.
As we're studying Hamlet, do you think we should perform it for the school play this year?
Possibly. But it is a very long play and quite difficult to understand. I think it's a bit gloomy too. How about a comedy? Something more fun?
Yes, I see your point. Have you got something in mind?
I was thinking of A Midsummer Night's Dream or Twelfth Night.
Sorry, but I can't really agree with you on that. Both those plays have a complicated plot.
Well, what about writing our own play?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'd go along with that.
Great! So who shall we ask to write it with us?
Literature Corner 3. Page 56. Exercise 1. Read and listen.
The Lost World by Arthur Conan Doyle. Early next morning we were again afoot and found that the character of the country had changed once again. Behind us was the wall of bamboo, as definite as if it marked the course of a river. In front was an open plain, sloping slightly upwards and dotted with clumps of tree ferns, the whole curving before us until it ended in a long, whale-backed ridge. This we reached about midday, only to find a shallow valley beyond, rising once again into a gentle incline which led to a low, rounded skyline. It was here, while we crossed the first of these hills, that an incident occurred which may or may not have been important. Professor Challenger, who, with the 2 local Indians, was in the van of the party, stopped suddenly and pointed excitedly to the right. As he did so, we saw, at the distance of a mile or so, something which appeared to be a huge grey bird flap slowly up from the ground and skim smoothly off, flying very low and straight, until it was lost among the tree ferns. "Did you see it?" cried Challenger in exultation. "Summerlee, did you see it?" His colleague was staring at the spot where the creature had disappeared. "What do you claim that it was?" he asked. "To the best of my belief, a pterodactyl." Summerlee burst into derisive laughter. "A fiddlestick," said he. It was a stork if ever I saw one. Challenger was too furious to speak. He simply swung his pack upon his back and continued upon his march. Lord John came abreast of me, however, and his face was more grave than was his wont. He had his Zeiss glass in his hand. "I focused it before it got over the trees," said he. "I won't undertake to say what it was, but I'll risk my reputation as a sportsman that it wasn't any bird that ever I clapped eyes on in my life." So there the matter stands. Are we really just at the end of the unknown, encountering the outlying pickets of this lost world of which our leader speaks? I give you the incident as it occurred, and you will know as much as I do. It stands alone, for we saw nothing more which could be called remarkable.
Skills Roundup 5 to 6. Page 57. Listen. Exercises 1 and 2. Listen to the dialogue.
Good afternoon. How can I help you?
Oh, hello. I'm planning where to take my American friend, Brad. He's never been to the UK before, and he wants to see some typical British sights.
OK. So what have you planned so far?
So far, I'm planning to take him to Big Ben for 12 o'clock noon. He wants to hear the chimes. We're going to go by taxi from Paddington Station.
Oh, that will be quite an expensive journey. Have you thought about taking a bus?
But London's black cabs are typically British, and I'm sure he'll want to ride in one.
Double-decker buses aren't common in America either, are they? They're also very British.
True. Actually, that was on Brad's list of things he'd like to do. I was planning to take him on a double-decker sightseeing bus, but I prefer your idea.
OK. And then you can take him for a shorter trip in a black cab.
Brilliant. We can take a black cab from Big Ben to Buckingham Palace. He wants to go there to see the changing of the guard.
Are you planning to take him to the Tower of London?
Oh, I might do. Also, he wants to spend some time in my neighbourhood and eat typical British food.
He'll probably want to try fish and chips.
Oh, I know. That's on his list, as well as a hot curry. And my parents are taking us for afternoon tea at the Savoy Hotel. He'll love that.
Well, the Tower of London is worth the visit. He can see the crown jewels there and take photos of the Beefeater Guards in uniform. Then you can take photos of Tower Bridge and the view across the River Thames. Tower Bridge is another iconic symbol he'll probably appreciate.
Quite right. Brilliant. Oh, I'm glad I decided to get some help planning this visit.
Well, we're here to help. It can be difficult to look at your own city as if you were a tourist.
That's very true. I hadn't thought of the Tower of London, but it's an excellent idea. And he'll love taking photos of the Beefeater Guards.